my head. That's what I
What
did.
did you make that kid?
Just-
I know. Never, I
Says the
just
stuff
text
that
her
drives you
every once
crazy.
in a while. She won't be, yep, come on, that's what she says.
Can we just stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Take a second to check the phones and make sure they're on silent or on vibrate. That would be great. I need a motion to approve the minutes from December 5th and also December 29th, 2016.
I will make that motion.
Second,
Second motion?
all in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence, Kathleen?
I have the 2017 investment policy, 2017 procurement policy, 2017 salary schedule, 2017 appointment list. Copy of a resolution for the stop DWI contracts, the building inspector's report for December, the copy of the wage and salary page from the employee handbook, correspondence from Lisa Bacigalupo, the court clerk, that the justice court records are ready for review, and to inform them when the town requires them to be here. Fuel agreement, copy of a fuel agreement from the Village of Otisville, and the fuel agreement for Cornell for approval. Christine contacted me that she got it, but had a problem with the email to answer me, and Lucy from Cornell said that they want to renew it also. And then the petition for the municipal consent to extend the service territory of New York American Water Company. And that's to do with Whitlock Estates. That's all I have.
Thanks, Kathleen. Does the board all have appointment lists? Did you
They
get-
were emailed to everybody.
You got that? Good. Just pass it on to them. Sorry. All right, committee reports. What do you got, Matt?
There'll be a zoning board of appeals meeting here at the town hall tomorrow at 7 p.m. And that's all.
Brian?
I don't have anything for it.
Janet?
Planning board next meeting is scheduled for the 18th. At the last planning board meeting, they had, what?
I'll write that down after.
The MIDOSH plans went up, requesting an extension request, retroactive to November 18th. A proposed driveway off of Greenville Turnpike to build a home was proposed. This is all preliminary. The next step is perk testing and maps and whatnot. And then the Pearson Farm went up before the committee, and they discussed how the moratorium had run out so that they can go ahead and do their application and whatnot. They have a review and site plan, building permit, they'll be able to meet the setbacks. The only thing that they were looking at that they said that there would be no grading, very little tree clearing. The only thing, the only concern as of right now is that the fence that they're planning, that you can't have a fence more than 6 feet, but that the fence that they were looking to put up is actually 7 feet. It's 6 foot of fence, 6 feet of fence and 1 foot of barbed wire. So they were figuring out what they were going to do about that.
Dominic?
I just want to remind everybody, Thursday is our next meeting over the master plan, and that'll be here at this office at 5 o'clock. I have nothing about the sewer plan. I haven't had any contact with them in a few days. Everything is going good there. And the school, I'll leave up to you because that involves the contract that was written, and I'll let you speak on that later. Otherwise, we're all good.
Highway, Gene?
I have nothing for me.
Dean, how did the sale go over the loader to the 4-H? Did it happen yet or not yet?
Not yet.
Boys, Paul?
Okay, just a quick couple things. Just I saw Diane, we pulled out the paperwork for the county permit for the yard sale today, because we had to wait till January
Right.
1st. So Pat is working on that with Carol.
Excellent.
So,
Thank you.
last year there was an issue with the road closure, so we're gonna apply for the permit today. There's a couple things, just the DWI contract resolution, it's a standard one that we do every year for me to sign the contracts throughout the year with the county. And then the other item is the garage insulation. I spoken to a few of you, I sent the email questions back to Chad. I still recommend that we accept the lowest bid, from Fulminator Spray, $6,828. I think it's a very good price. All three prices we got were very good prices, but I think this is a very good price. I think it's a good, addition to the building. It will help the building. I understand there's some concerns about the cost of heating it. I would say that, you know, with these prices, get the insulation done, and then if we wanna deal with the heat in 2018, we'll put that off to 2018. But I think this is, you know, for the reasons that we talked about in the email, I just think this is a good price, it's a good opportunity, and I think it'll be, better for the town as a whole.
Well, what's the number again on that price?
$6,828. It's Fulminator Spray Foam LLC.
One other question, Paul. Who would be, like cleaning a building, like in the wintertime when the snow and ice gets down, like is the officers gonna clean their building, or like?
No, generally they don't. Generally it's me, Jim Corcoran, he's generally who does it. Pat doesn't normally do it. Just like we kind of shovel the snow around the doors and stuff like that, it'll be similar. And that's all I had.
So we need a motion for the signing of the contract, right?
Well, there's no contract for accepting.
I'd have to generate the contract,
Oh.
so.
Yeah,
So we don't have
it's
to
just
write-
accepting the.
Yeah, you can accept the bid and then we'll we'll do it pending the contract.
No, for the DWA.
Oh, Kathleen's got the
I
language.
have the wording for
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
resolution.
Okay. Village of Otisville, Diane.
Hi. I actually don't have very much, and Happy New Year to everybody. Tony Capola was planning on being here. They have a fire company meeting this evening, and he wasn't sure if he'd be able to get away, so I do have a short report, since we only took over on the first. But since the first, there have been 3 calls, all in the town of Mount Hope. All 3 were medical. We had 12 firefighters respond each time, and there was always at least 1 EMT on scene. So far, everything's going quite well. They have 6 or 7 members, I forget which, going through orientation this Thursday for basic firefighter training. Some of them will be attending the evening program, some of them the weekend program, and there is a driver's drill scheduled for, I believe, this Sunday. That's all I have.
Thanks, Diane. So, David, the contract for the school, where are we?
I had sent last week this board a copy of the proposed contract. If everyone's okay, then I can forward it on to the buyer's attorney, and we can get the process going. At this point, I don't actually need a vote. I just needed to say I can send it out. Once we have a contract that's agreeable to both sides, then at that point I'll bring it back and ask for a motion for the supervisor to sign the contract.
Okay, and at that point, that's exactly when our timeframes would start to do the permissive referendum?
Yes.
Okay, that was everybody's homework. Everybody look at the contracts for David and for the old school. Is anybody had any questions or?
Yes, I have a couple questions.
Okay.
All you?
Okay. What we have currently, we did receive I guess you would call it a letter from the old school, Friends of the Old School Inc. And they're, this one. All right, the Friends of the Old School Inc., who will then diligently seek to fulfill its corporate mandate to preserve, rehabilitate, develop the said property as a cultural, artistic, and educational community center. I think that piece of the paragraph, that sentence, should be somewhat incorporated into the, I think, term of the sale, David, as we have discussed previous, that
Okay.
that's what we're gonna look to see in terms of their rehabilitation.
Not a problem. We can do that.
That was all.
Okay.
David, what are the costs for the town?
None. The only thing that was in the draft that I had given to you, which I did make a change on, would have been any type of transfer tax. The new version has the buyer as the responsible party. However, there isn't going to be a transfer tax in this because there really isn't a purchase price. Transfer tax in New York is based upon the purchase price and is typically paid for by the seller, except for certain situations. This would be one of those situations. So we make it clear to them they'd have to pay for any transfer tax. Obviously, any work that I do on it is covered under what the town is already paying me, so there's no additional cost that way. Really, most of the costs are going to be on the part of the buyer, who I'm assuming is going to get title insurance, potentially a survey, but none of those would be cost to the town.
Okay.
So essentially, there's really no cost at all to the town.
All right. Does any other board members have any questions for David on this?
No, I don't think
So I'd like a motion to approve David to send the contract to the buyers for their review.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second motion?
all in favor?
Aye.
Whitlock Estates, David, you and I talked this morning. I did have Kathleen put it on the agenda Friday prior to talking to you. Do you want to just bring us up to speed on what happens next with this?
Yeah, basically the situation is that we'd gotten a letter that this company was going to be purchasing the existing water resources, and they were looking for an extension to their territory. They had provided in it a short form, environmental form. I simply asked that it be forwarded to the engineer for their review, just to make sure that they don't believe any further determination needs to be made. Once I hear back from them, then we should be okay to approve it. And I don't see, based upon the information provided, I don't see any reason why the town shouldn't approve it.
Okay, so basically, once we hear back from the engineer, possibly by our next meeting, we could move forward with that.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just leave that on the agenda. All right, new business. 2017 meeting dates and exceptions. Basically, we changed the meeting dates for the Mondays that were holidays and the one in November because of the election. So I'd like a motion to approve the meeting dates and the exceptions.
I'll make the motion, we approve the posted meeting dates.
Second,
Second motion?
all in favor?
Aye.
Chad, just so you know, I do have a copy of the legal notice for tonight's meeting. That was in the paper from the 29th, but just so we have,
Thanks,
That's
Ken.
what- that's
If anyone would like to see a copy of the notice that was in the record,
I
it's right up,
mentioned it before, sorry.
it's right up here on the front. The Town of Mount Hope 2017 appointment list. I would like a motion to approve the appointment list.
I have a question.
Sure.
In the event that the building inspector is also, working as assistant highway or deputy highway superintendent, how does that work?
Well, obviously it's only when Dean takes vacation, but
Or like, you know, an emergency or something, you know, and he's not here, how does that work with?
well, we have Adam McCary, so once Dean gets his schedule together as to when he knows he's taking vacations, those particular weeks, I have a very light schedule for Adam right now. Once we know the dates, Julie will need more time over there, and I'll have Adam fill in on the.
And Adam's good if there's an emergency and or something happens and, you know, she gets called over to the highway department last minute, or he's good for being, you know, on call like that, or
Yeah,
taking care of it? Okay.
sure. That's pretty much what we have him for now. Seems to be working out pretty well.
I'd like to make the motion to accept the 2017 appointment list.
I'm sorry, do you have any more questions?
No, that's it.
Okay. Second,
Second motion?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, ayes have it.
What do you wanna do about Dominic isn't here, so,
There's a registration.
He's coming. He's just
okay.
2017 investment, procurement policy, sorry. A motion to approve the procurement policy for 2017.
Make the motion to approve the procurement policy for 2017.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2017 investment policy, motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the 2017 investment policy.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
You're back, Coffee. Okay. Let's see, 2016 year-end budget modifications, does everybody have those?
No.
I don't know if I have copies of those. No?
No, that I do not have.
I didn't get him either.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's getting them.
Super nice, so we're gonna find them here. And we'll table that a second till we get the copies for everybody. There you have it. Happens. Wow. All right, I'm trying to get stressed yet. That happened. is tomorrow, I'd like to add them to the website. I've had people ask, who do I talk to? I try to answer everybody's questions, and of course, I'm probably here a little more than anybody else, but I want them to be able to have a point of contact as to, you know, maybe who their first step should be, who they should go to. Couple new things this year, obviously, we have a Facebook page. Up to date, Ryan, you've been pretty good about posting things on there, so it's not your job. And we have a couple just different things going on this year that hopefully will be good. Obviously, last year we didn't have the master plan, so the master plan's a little different. Matt, you did the Veterans Day ceremony last year. Obviously, we saw that had quite a good attendance, so I think as we do things, we see that things that may need an improvement or a little more planning. I know with our tree lighting, I don't wanna do it on a board night anymore. We have way too many people here. So we'll make it a Saturday or Sunday or Friday night or something.
You're not gonna believe it, it ran out of paper, do you have, reading the paper?
Yeah, it's right next to it.
That doesn't matter, here's.
Sorry.
Nope.
Kathleen and I went over the wage and salary page in the handbook. Couple little changes. Minimum wage on the 30th changed to $9.70. So we reworded a few things to reflect the New York State minimum wage versus an actual price. Next year it goes to $10.85. I think it's $11.70 the year after and $12.50 in 2020. So rather than change it every year, the entry level positions, we just changed it to New York State minimum wage. And that would hopefully be a little easier. What else did we change, Kathleen? Was it-
You added the court officer.
Yes, the
Because that
court
wasn't
officer.
on
We
there.
had, when we did the handbook, we thought of all the positions to put an entry-level position in for, and we forgot that one. So the court had somebody retire at the end of the year, and the new person start, and we didn't have a starting pay, so kind of learned as we went along. Thank you.
Did you relook at salaries? Did you look at salaries for council people?
No. No, with that, we're gonna have to adjust it to budget time. Yeah.
All right, right, 'cause that's what it is.
Yeah. So at this time, I'd like a motion to approve the wage and salary page amendment in the handbook.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Who was the second?
Me.
Thank you.
See, this one's gonna be kinda easy, so the, receipt books for 2016, we need to set up, to audit all of the town's books, to go over the receipts. Inconveniently, it's on the committee list now, so, Ryan and Matt, however whatever dates work, if you just let Kathleen know.
Yeah, but I would say give at least a week lead time so I can, get letters to all the department heads and they'll all have their books by a certain date. If they do it over a weekend, then, they could have their books, whatever,
Perfect.
I just need some time as opposed to just calling them tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So whatever you guys talk, whatever works for you, if you let me know or Kathleen know, and we'll get the stuff there for you. Now that we have the budget modifications, so basically, they're not added here, but I do have that sheet. So from 2016, we have $422,985.31 to surplus. Good job, everybody, all the departments. Obviously, there's a little difference between saying surplus and actual surplus, so the tax bills, anybody that has a mortgage that isn't, a loan with the bank, you might not see it, but, other people got their tax bill today in the mail. So, even though our year ends in December, we really don't have any money yet to pay bills, because Linda's in the process of just starting to get the bills out and collected, so. What happens is a lot of the money, not a lot of it, but it kind of rolls over and, has to fund us through January, but this is the amount of money that's left. All of the budget modifications would reflect the $422,000. Some of it is getting moved into surplus only, which is rolling over into, next year, unexpended balances. So at this time, I'd like a motion to approve the 2016 year-end budget modifications.
I will make the motion, we approve the year-end budget modifications.
Second?
Second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
This is the code.
Ayes have it.
I'm sorry, who did the second?
I did.
I couldn't hear because they were talking. Okay, go ahead.
Fuel agreements with, do we need to do these separate, David?
I would do them separate.
Okay, so a motion to approve the 2017 fuel agreement with the Village of Otisville. All the terms, Dean, are staying the same, correct?
Yeah, you already sent them out.
No, they didn't get sent
No, they didn't get
out.
sent out.
For, it's for approval.
So I was gonna recommend we, do a 5-cent increase.
But I don't think there's any numbers on this.
Is there figures on that?
It'd be 20.
Oh, 20 cents up here, yep,
20
under
cents.
rates. Oh, that's easy enough for me to
Yeah.
change in the computer.
So let's talk about that first.
I would recommend we do a 5-cent per gallon increase to a total of 25%. 25 cents per gallon cost to our customers because of the cost to keep our system up and going and the licensing and everything else that we have. We spend a lot more.
Sure.
And I know we're gonna be inspected this year.
Now, what, I know it hasn't changed since I've been here. When's the last time we've,
We never increased it.
Oh, so
It was
let's do it.
originally set at 20 cents, I don't know, probably 10 years ago? Probably.
Dean, does the 4-H in the Village of Otisville pay the same amount of money,
Yes. Every
everyone?
customer pays 20 cents more per gallon than what we get it delivered for.
okay. Anybody got any questions?
I do, just from what Dean just said. So it's 20 cents a gallon more than, so you're recommending it go to 25 cents a gallon more than, so it's not really
Yeah.
25 cents a gallon, it's 25 cents more than what you pay, right?
Right.
I just wanna make sure I report it right.
It's 25 cents more
Yes.
than what we pay.
Okay, got
Or 5 cents more than you heard.
it. Right, right, yeah.
The way it basically works is when we get a delivery, we
Yes.
change the price on the computer that day, so
Right,
any activity after our delivery, you pay
Yeah.
20.
that part I remember, okay. Because
Okay.
that's what I did.
So a motion to approve the 2017 fuel agreement with the amendment going from 20 to 25 cents above the amount that the town of Mount Hope pays. How's
Well,
that?
which one are you doing first?
Village of
So-
Otisville, yep.
I'll make that motion as stated.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve the 2017 fuel agreement with Cornell Cooperative with the amount above what the town of Mount Hope pays, going from 20 to 25 cents.
Make that motion as stated.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Kathleen, do you wanna read that resolution for the Stop DWI?
Motion and second to authorize the police chief to sign the 2017 Stop DWI contracts with the County of Orange.
Motion to approve the resolution as stated.
Make the motion.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
A motion to approve, Paul, what is the name of the company?
Fulminator?
Fulminator Spray Foam LLC, it's FOAMINATOR. Spray Foam, one word, LLC.
And the dollar amount?
$6,828.
Motion to approve the installation for the police department from Fulminator LLC in the amount of $6,828.
Make the motion.
Second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chad, are you an aye?
I'll eye it. Dean, you didn't need anything, right? You got that? Kathleen, did we have anything else? Am I missing anything?
No, but you didn't do the, appointment list?
I did.
You did?
So, Dominic wasn't here for.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't check those
A motion to pay the bills,
Make the motion to pay the bills?
second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
I'll move this down, I'll say it during the board comments. Public participation.
I just have a very quick question. The November meeting date changed due to election day, will that be on Thursday?
I believe it's a Thursday. Yep.
The 9th and the 20th of November.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Wow, this is nice. Good. All right. We have to do a quick executive session to go over a contractual thing with Hidden Valley, which I actually have to do after board comments. Does anybody have board comments?
No comments this evening.
Brian?
No, I don't.
Janet?
No.
Dominic?
You weren't here last week, but we just wanted to say thanks for doing what you did to take care of the guys in the investigation up there. They appreciated everything you did for them.
It was different.
It was. But yeah, they were appreciative of what you did for them.
I just have one thing, I mean, obviously, we added the concert series 2 years ago. Last year, a week before the, well, I guess I'll call them 4th of July fireworks, we found out that it kind of got dropped in our lap that Mike Romano didn't have a sponsor, so the town, Paul and I actually sat down and talked to him, told him we'd figure everything out. Dean, I don't have a date yet for the pavilion, that he needs the pavilion for that day. So, it's early yet, but Paul and I spoke to him this year. I'm looking to see about doing a community day, a full-blown, full day. Usually at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, the day of the fireworks. There's usually 1 or 2 food vendors down there, and it's mobbed. It's absolutely mobbed. The town of New Windsor, I've learned a lot from them. They've helped me out the last 2 years with the concert series. I have a few applications and stuff from them. They have a community day every year. So I don't know exactly if it's gonna go without a hitch this year, but once we lock a date down from Mike Romano as to what day the fireworks are going to be, I'm gonna try to work to fill in the blanks. My ultimate goal is for it to be a free, excuse me, for the community, but I want it to be self-sufficient. So I would look to have some vendors there that would pay a fee, and it would cover the cost of, if Dean had to have one or two guys there, Paul had to have some extra people there. And we'll see what happens, but hopefully throughout the month of January, I'll have a date for the board. And of course, I'll have applications for use of property and stuff. I'll have David take a look at it, and the board look at it to make sure everything is good. At this time, I would like to do executive session for a contractual issue with Hidden Valley Sewer District.
Make a motion to enter executive session.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Ryan, I'm hoping the next meeting, Steve,
Big wins for St. You gave Syracuse their first game in their game. No. Oh, I did, but I didn't know. I had heard about it.
He's got big one.
Thanks. How you doing, man? See you later. How are you? How's everything going? You come just to see me in action? Of course.
Back to my purple.
Okay.
I assumed it would.
Probably say hi to my daughter.
Let's just rush in. Take care of it. There you go. There you go.
Not sure if you care.
Yes, thank you. They need to sign that, which is fine. We had a workshop. So, they understand.
Back to that supposed garage, there's like a warehouse space. Again, that may have been a storage business area at one time. Maybe it's his, maybe it was dedicated beforehand, I don't know. But there is room behind that, it's just that it elevates. So what? He has room, but we can't let him put it in front of the house. And it's a good distance in front. So let's say this is the front of his house here. He's got it like way up in the front this way. And I don't see the light affecting that no matter where he put that, he could put it up in the back. But I guess it's
understood that it was, house mount. Excuse me, and how big is this?
his array.
Yeah, how much does he want?
I'm gonna twice the size of the table. I'm just guessing roughly.
Well, that's
But
an
it's-
important
yeah,
factor
it's-
too, because
it's
there's a
more than-
limitation on it.
It was the minimum that he would need, said it would be for his own use.
Uh-huh.
Run by,
Him and the warehouse and the patio.
well, he could put it up in behind, but he would have to clear some land, so I don't know.
Well, I don't, yeah, I have to
We'll go
look
back
at
over,
that.
tomorrow's a public hearing, so
Because that,
we'll see if anybody comes out and has anything to say. But it's a nice home. I'm assuming it's a very expensive home.
Well, that's wonderful, I mean,
And it's.
if it was a
it's,
shack in the
uh,
middle of nowhere.
Right, it still wouldn't allow, but
Right.
I'm surprised that he wants. So we'll find out.
Yeah, well, that's.
And then the day after is the master plan meeting here.
Yeah.
So we'll discuss
Interesting
more as to what.
Yeah, this week is gonna be for many.
Yeah, take it one thing at a time. And the thing is, I sometimes get a little bit nervous with these things as they come along. But then you get into it and you start seeing that other things, so you never know what's gonna happen, so.
Yes, you do. It's part of the process. What you signed up for, you know, with that, you have to find out, cause what little there is on it right now. You have to know that. No, because I have a copy of it at home. Come on.
I'm surprised because when I'm gonna sit down. When he approached the building inspector explained what the situation is. He knew. There wasn't any, he pursued it anyway, to see if he can do it. And it's not as if there's no other way. And if there wasn't any other way, it wouldn't make any difference.
Well, are we privy to what the building inspector or who it was that told him that he could do that?
we're on our way out, so.
Well, they told him according to the books,
Okay.
the way it's supposed to be. You can't put anything out in front of the house.
No, there was very few people.
And she may have looked at his property and told him that he can't do whatever else, but,
They're talking about,
she didn't approve a building permit for what he wanted. So in turn, he decided to come.
Well, he's gonna wanna do it his way. I wanna do it my way.
Well, yeah. I see other things.
Well, he can't, yeah,
My mind works in a very strange way.
no, I'm glad it does too. Because you have to.
There's, in my opinion, I think there's other stuff that's coming. I don't know exactly what it is. Is that over? You have to be fair, and you have to go
Oh,
to the
absolutely.
meeting and the public hearing.
I really don't care who's doing it, I wanna
Yeah,
go by the law.
yeah, I drove by his place, I haven't actually gone up and looked around, because I don't need to, the whole area is open, except for behind his house, you can see it, it's not as if it's in the back woods.
Right.
Very visible, and I must have had to buy and stop for a look, just quickly looked at the car, and estimated stuff, probably 5 times. I don't know if anyone else has gone up that way, probably one or two others, but I didn't see what's there. I try to get out and see.
Well, again, it has to be done by what's
The one case
allowable and not,
was
yeah.
this one gentleman that lived down in this one guy's house, just down by where Bill Holbrook. And he just went and added on the back deck onto his house and sliding glass doors and everything. I'm sure he improved the whole house, but what he did was, the way the property was kind of right to the corner of his house. I mean, right to the corner of his house where the property was, which is like that. So when he built the deck on the back, the deck went out about 2 foot onto the next neighbor's property. He goes in, he's trying to sell this house. Oh, if we would have let that go, we would have been in trouble.
I need all kinds of easements and.
Look at this thing going.
What do you
No,
think?
those I've had, they're,
What are you thinking?
Yes, and that was probably the only case in the years that I've been on that we decided that. Because everything was, the deck had to be taken down.
The doors had to be
The doors had to be taken down.
Oh, he must have been fuming.
Well, there's, the property was very small, it was very old, very back in the 1800s, and I don't know how it got that way. I guess people back then didn't really know where their lines were, so they just went and built a house, or whatever it was there, or added onto it somehow.
We had an issue, fortunately it's been taken care of, up on where I live on Highland Avenue. The house next to us has the 3 buildings on it. The
Yes,
main
it's for
house,
sale.
it's been for sale for over a year. They just haven't had the for sale sign up.
So how come they can't sell that?
Because the house needs major work, the main house needs major work, the carriage house is falling, the inside of the carriage house is basically a shell. The only house right now that is livable is the cottage in the back, and that needs all new appliances. You've got the two houses in the front that you can see, you've got the carriage house and the main house. Behind the carriage house is a little two-bedroom bungalow.
I like the word cottage. It was so much nicer.
No, this is a bungalow. Well, we've had an issue every time this property, since I lived in the house, it was February of 2003. That property has changed hands at least 4 times.
Yeah, something else is going on. It's a septic problem, water problem,
There's
property problems.
neighborhood
small-
problem?
Yeah, it's probably such a small area.
The lot
that
is,
they
the
can't-
lot's big, the lot's actually, it's about an acre lot. Problem is, that carriage house, we own 2.5 feet of that carriage house. It was on our property.
All right, so that
His
was.
his parents, back in the mid-70s, had all the paperwork drawn up to give the owners at that time the easement for the 2.5 foot plus a little bit extra on either side, so that they actually owned the property, the full carriage house, free and clear. They didn't have the $20 to file it with the county. We're looking at the early 70s, or mid-70s. The last owner of the property approached us because he realized he was gonna have an issue if he wanted to sell it, which he did. He was trying to flip it, he was gonna flip. Realized that the carriage house actually,
With all them troubles, you're not flipping too quickly, that's for sure, and you're not making a lot of money. You're probably losing.
this is not gonna be an easy flip.
That's on your property by 2 feet.
Well, we finally had paperwork turned up, he had paperwork turned up by his
Even if
lawyer.
you tore the building down, I don't think they have any kind of setbacks.
There's,
That property's probably.
What's this,
an
what
acre
is the
plus.
setback? Do you know what the setbacks are on the,
In the village, I'm not sure
no,
if it's
in
any
the
different.
town?
Now it's 40
the village, because the lots are smaller,
Really,
has
40
different-
feet is not that big. If you stop to think about it, 10 foot is like, about 10 foot, so it's not really that much. There are some areas that are probably less because it's a grandfather, where years ago.
I like grandpa.
The zoning boards
I get
were,
nuts.
the laws were a certain way, so maybe it was 30 feet, 20 feet, but it
but they finally
How's
got.
that baby bear?
Doing okay.
She's all right?
Yeah,
I'm
she-
so worried, I couldn't tell you.
They finally, his lawyer
She
finally
was
got
sick
it drawn
in,
up, because of
August when we were up
nothing
in
out of our
Hamburg.
pocket.
She had
They
a
now own the
blockage,
whole carriage house.
and then she
It's
just
funny
got
that
it again here a little while
we-
ago. So
Didn't,
everything
we
looks good so far.
Yeah, good.
gave it to them as, because we can't do anything with it. It's
All right, I'm getting up.
.02 acres that we lost. Or .2 acres we lost. What are we gonna do with .2? And it's on the hill, it's woods.
All right, Kat.
Nothing we can do with it.
All right, Kat.
Because the carriage house is on part of it, and
You
there's
went
nothing.
shooting at a shot?
So, you know what? Just
You didn't want
Take
to
it.
buy that carriage house?
Not as good as it should have been.
No.
Had it in the-
in order to get the carriage house, we had to buy the whole thing, and we didn't know.
What do you know, anything?
So you're just supposed to import this?
It wasn't worth it, I was trying to, no, no one. The last people that were in
Yeah,
there,
right.
who went to trash in the
First day
house.
back for work, maybe for 3.5 weeks it sucked.
They plugged up the
Fucking mess.
I need to do something.
Or you on vacation or?
Yeah.
And they're the ones who actually.
I had to take 3 weeks vacation this time of year.
I gotta use it, or
Oh,
lose it.
I
is that,
do.
you can lose it, yeah.
I wonder if that's such a small piece of land.
You asked me, you said, how long has it been going on?
Maybe zoning
So no, just a couple months.
How many we should get up there?
It's not gonna like do
There's,
it.
the houses,
Big.
the houses, the houses.
9 hours every
on the
pay
streets,
Yeah.
Major.
So I'm still
Because
starting,
sometimes when
this
they
year
got
was
work
280,
they
you only
got
carry over
worse
280,
than that.
280
Keep
hours.
the kitchen
I was gonna say, that's
we
why.
have
Anything over that, you lose.
And
downstairs.
that's been at least.
And they still owe me like 4
Their
days,
ceilings
but I'll
Oh,
make
yeah.
it.
in the kitchen,
If you ever need a time frame, call your
if they're
daughter or
6 to
me.
8 hours.
Stops
But
and
to think
7
that-
spots.
Well, no, the main house, the main house is the main house. They were getting up there.
Yeah.
That's a bad house. This-
All right, motion to come out of executive session.
Make that motion?
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion to adjourn.
Start trouble.
Motion adjourned?
Motion to
Second.
adjourn. You guys listen time.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sat down and hoped
Aye. Aye.
my admission back.
Sure.